In today's video, I want to go over a brand new rumor regarding Elden Ring and its release window. This is a game that I think everybody wants to hear more about, but for whatever reason, we just haven't heard much about it. I do think that's going to change within the coming weeks and months with the Summer Game Festival and all of these different events going on. I imagine we're going to hear about this game very soon. However, there is a new rumor about its release window, so we'll go over that. Also, as far as Dishonored is concerned, it's one of my favorite franchises of the last decade or so, and it looks like the franchise actually isn't on hold. Dishonored 3 might be happening. And lastly, we have some interesting information regarding the PlayStation 5 design. Takashi Mochizuki is noting that he expects a reveal of the PlayStation 5 design very soon for a variety of different reasons. We'll take a look at that at the end of this video. But as noted on Game Rant, coming from NeoGaf user Krotos, he's claiming that Elden Ring will release later this year with next-generation versions of the game supposedly coming as well. Krotos noted on NeoGAF that had a quick chat today with my friend that worked at Namco. He doesn't have much new info. Next-gen versions confirmed as everyone expected by now. The delays caused by the changes in development and now the world situation would move the release to summertime, so they decided to do next-gen versions. Expected release in Q3. I think he meant financial quarter 3, otherwise they would be releasing current-gen and then a couple of months later the next-gen version, and unless Namco wants to milk double dippers of a set or sell next-gen upgrades, it doesn't make sense, although that is something that Bandai Namco definitely would want to do. Hint hint, Dark Souls 2. I mean, they literally released that game on the 360 and PS3 after the PS4 and Xbox One had released, and then they ported it over to next-generation platforms as well. Do not deny Bandai Namco of anything when it comes to double-dipping people or making people double-dip or having the option of making people double-dip on specific games. He also noted this is from software. Don't expect much more than higher resolution and maybe 60 frames per second from the next-generation versions. Game is completed in terms of content, playable from beginning to end. There are fixing bugs, optimizing stage, plus next-gen porting. So if that's to be believed, hopefully we get Elden Ring by the end of this year, and financial Q3 would peg it around October to December of this year. I think if Elden Ring ends up being a launch title, that would be incredibly exciting. Even if it does ultimately end up as a cross-generational title, and I think from Bandai Namco's standpoint, they definitely want to do that. They want to give PS4 and Xbox One players the option to at least play the game, which is fine to me. I don't expect a bunch of third parties to completely drop current generation platforms just because next generation platforms are coming out. That really doesn't make a lot of sense given that the bulk of the audience is still going to have the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Look, there's a combined 150 million Xbox One and PlayStation 4s out there. There's probably going to be a combined 15 to 20 million PlayStation 5s and Xbox Scarlets out there by the end of the year, and that's being pretty freaking generous. So bear that in mind as well. I really wouldn't be expecting anything from third parties. Elden Ring is a game, however, I really need to see gameplay out of. I think we would have seen gameplay out of it had the world situation not been this way, or at the very least we would be getting gameplay at E3. I would have expected us to get gameplay like a month or two ago, given that this game was announced all the way back at E3 of last year, and it's a game that we had expected to be pretty far along, and it was noted that it was a PS4 and Xbox One game, so I had always just been of the mindset that this game is going to come out prior to the release of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, so that would peg it around an April-May release window, and that's traditionally when From Software does release their games. I mean, in 2019 they did Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, that was in March. Bloodborne was in March. I believe Dark Souls 3 was in March or April. That's generally the time frame they release their games. Dark Souls 2 as well, so that's what I was expecting, but it looks like that won't ultimately be coming to fruition. Nevertheless, Elden Ring information should be dropping sooner rather than later. Alright, moving on from that, as noted on WCCF Tech, Dishonored series isn't actually on hold, says Arcane. Dishonored fans can rejoice for their beloved franchise isn't technically on hold, according to Arcane Leon game director Dinga Bakaba. I'm sorry if I butchered their name. In an interview with IGN, he said, well, first of all, it's weird because for us as a studio, we never did a sequel to a game we made before. It was interesting to make and everything, but the rumors of putting the IP on hold was highly exaggerated and was misquoted. You know, it's not necessarily the same thing when you are talking about what could be done and you're telling a journalist it's not what we're going to do right now. It's really not the same thing, so I don't think there was a decision to put Dishonored series on hold. I think the initial quote was overinterpreted. The initial quote belonged to Ricardo Bear, who back in 2018 noted this: I can't say definitively what might happen down the road, but Dishonored is resting for now. As far as pure immersive sims go, I don't know if we're gonna continue make like carbon copies. This qualifies as an immersive sim, and it's the only thing we're ever going to make. The things that are important to us as a studio are coherent, deep world building and environmental storytelling. We're always going to craft spaces that you feel like you're visiting, whether it's Dunwall or Talos 1. However, according to Bakaba, Arcane wouldn't just go back to Emily and Corvo as their storyline is done in their opinion. It's something where we had a story to tell about the Coldwinds and the Outsider, and the story is over. So whatever happens, that Dishonored is complete. This is the best and most honest answer we can give, but in any case, I don't think we will be revisiting that. There's clearly a creative choice. Some other people might have thought differently, you know, but that was a creative choice to not revisit that part of the Dishonored world. Whatever it is, Dishonored I thought was such a compelling stealth-oriented action-adventure title. I mean, you didn't have to play it with stealth in mind. You could honestly just run and gun and blaze your way through the game if you played on easier difficulty. I don't know, maybe even on harder difficulties you could do that. Whatever it is, Dishonored was such an awesome game. I love the art style. I love the narrative. I thought Dishonored 2 was a tremendous game. If you never played that, go play that. Hell, play Dishonored 1 as well. Both the games are so good and are definitely worth your time and money. And as far as money is concerned, Dishonored 1 and 2 are both very, very cheap. You can usually find like the Dishonored Complete Collection on the PlayStation Store for like $20. That includes Dishonored 1, 2, and Death of the Outsider. That is a sizable amount of content and very high quality single player experiences to boot, so definitely do give those a playthrough if you've never done so. Lastly, I do want to note that Takashi Mochizuki over on Twitter noted, I expect official reveal of PS5 design is near anyway because, as I wrote in this article, mass production is starting and that means leak of risk of console image. Given SIE is trying to stay ahead of the curve, reveal shouldn't be too far away. This makes a lot of sense, and obviously I believe Sony is a little bit extra thinking about the leaking and things of that nature given everything that happened with The Last of Us Part 2, and I don't think they want to find themselves in a rabbit hole like that again. Honestly, if we get images leaked of the PlayStation 5 console, I don't think that would be a deal breaker. Hell, it would circulate through the internet so fast and it would get everyone talking. However, I do think Sony would like to be the ones that actually reveal the design of their console, since that is a pretty important element of the console, and they were able to do that in a big way with the PS4. I believe they revealed it at the E3 event itself, and we actually got our first look at the console at that event. I don't think there was any major leakings about the PS4's design prior to that. I might be wrong about that. It was so long ago. We're talking going back, what, 7 years at this point? God, time flies so quickly. Nevertheless, I would imagine with that, the PlayStation 5 design is probably going to happen pretty soon. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, Elden Ring release window has been rumored. Q3, probably fiscal Q3, so maybe October to December makes a lot of sense with the cross-generational release on PS4, PS5, Series X, Xbox One, and PC. That would be pretty exciting. Dishonored series at this point isn't on hold. However, the story of Corvo as well as Emily seems to have wrapped up, and Takashi Mochizuki is expecting that PlayStation 5 design will be revealed soon. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.